opportunity. You know what I mean? So I think you should give people like that more of a chance to make the weight.
And so last time you fought Daniel Cormier, it didn't quite go your way. Anything that you tried to improve or change?
Everything. I've tried to improve everything. I'm a fighter. I don't want to be mediocre. You know what I mean? I want to be the best fighter possible. I improved my striking, I improved my wrestling, I improved my grappling, I can improve my conditioning. Everything is improved. I'm not going to sit on my ass and just be like, I lost at 187 and I don't need to improve. I know I can do nothing and beat this guy. So, I went out there and bust my ass to make sure I'm in the best shape possible.
I can't wait for the fight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
How close were you to winning that fight, do you think?
Not close enough. Not close enough.
I mean, how much have you thought about it since then?
I really haven't thought about it that much. I'm not the type of guy that dwell on things and let things bother me that much. I know things will always work out how they're supposed to. So I'm not worried about anything.
Everybody kind of has a different take on what the title means to them. What would it mean to you to have it?
Everything, because I've been to hell and back, and I don't think nobody's been to hell and back as many times as I have to get right back where I am right now. So winning the title will definitely be worth it. It'll be worth everything I've been through, good and bad.
I'm sure you've heard DC say several times that he feels you quit in the first fight. Watching the countdown, they kind of talked about it again. What is your reaction when he says that?
Okay, cool. Believe that. Believe that. Go ahead. Please believe that. Because soon as I get an opportunity, y'all know what's gonna happen. So believe that.
What's been the biggest change in the lead up to this fight, like in terms of your camp as opposed to the last fight?
What's changed since the last fight, basically? I'm a better fighter. That's just what it is. I'm in a better place. I'm physically, mentally, and spiritually just in a better place, man. I'm happy. I'm stress free. I'm good. So I feel like there's no pressure on me at all right now. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because it's a title shot. You know what I mean? But I'm so relaxed. But I know what I have to do. I'm not worried about anything because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I can try to predict the future, but it's a prediction. It's not a fact. You know what I'm saying? So I just got to go out there and do my thing and hope for the best.
DC said your speed, your quickness surprised him in that first fight. Anything about him that surprised you?
No. I knew he was a great wrestler. I knew he had some decent striking. I knew his top pressure would be great because he's a wrestler. So no, nothing surprised me. He's an elite athlete, and I've always known that. I've watched the guy wrestle in college for the national title against Kel Sanderson. You know what I mean? So I've seen him compete even before I even knew who he was personally. So I know DC he's just a beast. He's a monster.
Has your approach in training this time changed to combat his wrestling at all? Compared to the first
I trained everything, man. Like I said, I trained everything. I did everything possible to make sure I'm okay.
So people talk about your cardio maybe being a factor. A lot of your fights finish quickly and stuff.
They always talk. People gonna talk about something. They're gonna talk about if I wasn't a knockout artist, they'll say, "Oh, he can't knock people out." If I didn't know how to kick, they're gonna say, "Oh, he can't kick." If I didn't know how to wrestle, they're gonna say he can't wrestle. If I had great cardio, they would try and compare me to Demetrius Johnson. You know what I'm saying? So when are people not talking? So it doesn't bother me what people say, man. I've been through too much to worry about what society has to say about me or anybody or him. It just doesn't bother me, dude.
And you feel like your cardio is good enough that if this goes deep?
I feel like everything is good enough. I'm rumble. Remember that.
You've been a lot more active, the last year and a half, 2 years than he has. Do you think that makes a difference at all? That he hasn't really been in the cage to have those competitive fights.
Being active is good. He's had more time off, but I also think it gave him a little bit more time to recover. Will it play a big difference or a big part in the fight? I have no idea. He's an elite athlete, so I expect nothing but the best from him. You know what I mean? Will he be slower? Will he be faster? I don't know. I don't care. I don't think about that. I just focus on me.
You said earlier you don't dwell on missed opportunities or things in the past. I mean, so many people do. Is that something that you worked on, or is that just
those are people with issues. that dwell on the past. You know what I'm saying? They're not willing to move forward, and that's why they won't be successful. That's why they'll never go forward in life. You can't hold on to things forever. I can see if it's like a death in the family or something like that, that you accidentally caused, something like a car accident, like your little brother or something like that died, or or you hurt somebody really. But things like other than like this is fighting, dude. It's just nothing to dwell on. It's either you sit on your ass and mope around about it, or you get off your ass and go get better and do something about it. And so far, I've been doing something about it. So that's what I'm gonna do.
You said no matter what you do, people will talk about you. I think that's a great point in that you end all these fights early, and it's like, oh, that's all he's got is the one punch. So like when you hear that, is that just like you just laugh it off, or you just say like, oh, that's great?
I mean, technically, I'm like, yeah, you're right. What you're saying, yeah, I finished people in the first round. So yeah, that people think I'm just a first round fighter, and that is fine with me. I don't have anything to prove to those people. They don't know me. They don't know how hard I work in the gym. I bust my ass. You know what I mean? My teammates can tell you I bust my ass. My coaches can tell you I bust my ass. So they can believe whatever they want to believe. They can say whatever they want to say. That's why I don't dwell on this stuff, man. People gonna talk crazy no matter what. Because if you say the same thing about them, they're gonna come up with every excuse to why it happened or why it is the way it is. Just like you see, people say, oh, I can't go to the gym and work out and all this other stuff. I got it because I got kids. So it's either you want to work out and get your ass in shape, or you want to sit there and blame it on your kids. Like either you're gonna do it or you don't. So I mean, whatever.
I have a feeling I already know the answer to this because you don't dwell on it. But do you ever think about the early years of your career and the struggles that you put yourself through and all the success you have now and say, like, I could have been doing this a long time ago and I wouldn't have had to go through it?
I do think about my fights from the past. And I don't say, I could have been doing this a long time ago and had success, because if I hadn't have did what I did back in 170, people probably wouldn't have known who Rumble Johnson is. You know what I mean? If I would have tried to fight 185 or fight at 205, I would have been demolished. You know what I'm saying? You got Rashad, Michael Bisping, Anderson Silva, Rich Franklin back then. You know what I mean? They had some studs like 185. Then you got Chuck Liddell, Randy, and they had Shogun, and they had, just so many people fighting at 205. And you know what I mean? I would have got my ass whooped. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? And I know I wasn't that seasoned of a fighter to be competing with guys at that level. So fighting at 170 was a good thing for me. I put my body through hell, but it definitely helped out my career because I was missing weight. That put me in the tabloids. I was making weight, knocking people out. It was putting me in the tabloids. So either way, I was in the game.
You said you've been to hell and back. Is there a time is there like a point in your career where you say like that was a low point? That's where I was like, at my lowest as a fighter.
Yeah, it was a couple of times. When I got cut from UFC the first time, that was definitely one of the lowest. I felt like everybody was looking at me as being the guy that was a loser and couldn't. I didn't make weight and I lost the fight. You know what I mean? So flying those 6 hours, 7 hours home from Brazil was the longest flight of my life, and it was the flight that changed my life and my career too. Because my coach and I, Henry Hoop, sat back on the plane drinking some wine the whole time, talking about what we're gonna do next. Already game planning and just looking forward to the future. So and we kept our word with each other and just kept going, kept pushing even harder. And just that, and then being accused of things that I truly didn't do. You know what I mean? And I had society looking at me like I'm some monster and stuff. And I'm like, come on, dude, I'm not dumb like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, those were the lowest points in my career. Not even just my career, in my life. But I've overcome them. So that's why I say, like, anything people have to say, anything people throw at me, I know I can face it and beat it.
You erased the memories of the early fights by having all the success and winning. I mean, do you care about erasing people's thoughts about the off? You just said, people looked at you sideways and people thought something of you. Do you care about, like, fixing that in people's eyes? Or?
No, I don't care about fixing it, because people are going to have their own opinion no matter what. If I say something, they're going to have an opinion. If I don't say something, they're going to have an opinion. So I just do me. And just keep living life. My family and my friends, my teammates, they know who I am. They know the guy, and they know I'm dude, I might go out there and knock people out. But you know how many people actually come up to me and say, dude, you're like actually a nice guy. And you know, you're kind of scary whenever you fight, but you're a nice guy. A lot of girls call me a fucking teddy bear or some shit like that, you know? So it's different.
Do you know Brittany Annis, a woman named Brittany
Yeah,
Annis?
I know her.
She says
I know
you're a
Brit.
teddy bear.
Don't really? Yeah,
but
I
she
know
said-
Brit.
she
I know
said
Brit.
she
We've
helped-
known each other since college.
Yeah, she
Since
said
college.
you helped her out a lot, actually.
Yeah. She's a sweetheart. She has a special place in my heart for sure.
I met her in Dubai in November.
She's been traveling a lot.
Yeah.
She's been wanting to be Miss Johnson for a long time. You can
Is
tell
that
I said
right? Is
that.
that
Yeah. Bring that up to her.
You guys.
Tell her she missed out.
Okay. It was just she's still single, I think. So
That's fine.
she said you basically helped put her through college.
Yeah, I don't know about all of that. I was there for her through a lot of stuff. That's why I guess that's why we have a special place in each other's heart. She's been there with me through a lot of things, and I've been with her through a lot of things, and she's never judged me. I've never judged her. So you know, at that time, whenever you truly need a friend, she's come through so many times more than anybody can ever imagine. And I did the same for her. And it's not like we were doing it to get brownie points with each other. We were just straight up real people towards each other and friends. And I love her to this day. You know what I mean? I keep up with her on Instagram all the time. We don't talk near as much, but if I was to see her right now, I honestly would get up from here and just give her a hug and probably never let go. She is one of the best ladies I've ever met. Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Before the last fight there, you were coming in, like for the first fight, you just knocked out Alexander Gustafsson in Sweden. It was a big night, a lot of adrenaline coming in, or a lot of momentum coming with you. Whereas this time you're coming in 3 straight knockouts in a row. Do you think you have more momentum coming into this fight or prior to the first one?
Excuse me? Do I think what now? What's the last
more
part?
momentum coming in.
I don't know. I don't think about that stuff. If I have momentum, I have momentum, and if I don't, I don't. I'm here to fight. I don't think about that stuff. Those fights are in the past. It's not relevant right now. You know what I mean? Only thing relevant right now is what's over there to my right. It's the title. You know what I mean? The belt that I'm gonna get. So I'm just looking forward to it.
That's looking Saturday.
Thank you.
Do you think you're